Okay. Great. All right. So, how do we put these things together? Sorry. Let me make sure. Okay. So how do we put this together? Let's say we have two frames.
Okay.
How do you, here I'll show you what I did with Abby first.
Uh-huh.
And Anna. We made these, I took her face and I put them on images that she sent to me. You can do that as well, if you see an image that you really like. And then I can sketch it up that way. And then here's, it can be very elaborate as well. So we can go this whole route. So do you see this as being a portrait this way? Let's just start with the basics.
Mm-hmm.
This way, like portrait
Okay.
or landscape. Don't even think about the image right now. Think about the orientation.
Orientation. Okay.
Yeah.
I would say. I would say it as a landscape.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. That's helpful. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
now, what's tough part?
Yeah.
What is in the picture? Where do you? That's why if we go back to your questionnaire that you filled out,
Uh-huh.
what you said was. You said that this is a very traditional industry,
Uh-huh.
but this industry is very much changing, from my perspective.
Okay.
Certainly in America,
Uh-huh.
and certainly in higher education, public education, very much so. We have more teachers who are working for less, sometimes without benefits or more hours, even with unions in place. We still see a rapid shift from kind of a traditional role where a teacher would play to 70-30 contingent. People are contingent more so than they were before, instead of full-time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for a lot of reasons, but I think it kind of boils down to neoliberal economics
Mm-hmm.
and budgeting. Plus, how do we serve all these students, yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
So just keep that frame in mind when we talk about this being a traditional role, but the industry, the actual industrial part of it is changing, which is why part of the reason we can get free tuition and go to school. They just put the work on TAs.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, your professor expects you to do their almost the whole class.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
Okay. Well, maybe graduate school is always that way, but to the degree at which there are more students, grad students actually basically teaching the class, or there are more contingent workers who are filling the ranks,
Mm-hmm.
that is that's a kind of proliferating issue. So if that's how you see it, that's totally fine. So if you still see this in the traditional role, okay. But I can let you know, this industry has traditional philosophy, but its execution is definitely kind of in a
I would say
change.
execution is changing, but the main idea about
Oh,
teaching,
right.
about university
Right.
stays the same. There
Mhm.
are professors, there are
Sure.
there are going to be students, and
Yes.
there are going to be teaching assistants,
Right.
like they have been, and the process remains the same. You take a quiz, you take an exam,
Yeah.
you get a grade,
Right.
your things are graded by the professor or the TA.
Okay.
I was referring to that stuff,
Right. That's what I thought. Yeah.
the basic idea about teaching in grad school or
Right.
even undergrad stays the same.
But think about the industry and your labor.
Okay. Yeah, then there have been some shifts,
Okay.
like you said,
Right.
people have been working for less.
Much less, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then even the situation in high schools, I've heard that teachers really don't want to take it full time. Like they they can teach like as and when they're available, but they don't see it as like a thing that they would like to do. Like that's what I've heard from people. Like there have been lots of substitute lecturers filling in as and when they are available
Right.
to take up a class.
Or postdocs.
Yeah,
Right.
or postdocs.
Same
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so relative to the two issues we're talking about, in terms of the media campaign, we're talking about funding, guaranteed funding, and the TA student relationship, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's a lot of progress. Great. Okay, so let's talk about the TA student relationship first.
Okay.
How do you want to be portrayed? What you wrote here was, how do you envision a portrait of yourself as a contemporary American worker? I can see myself being happy because of getting the opportunity to teach students and help them develop in their studies. I also envision myself as a leader who wants to change the monotony of the student-TA relationship. Okay, what does that look like? You can try the words. This has helped some other people. See me doing X, or envision me in this space doing that. And remember, they can be multiple images too.
Okay.
They don't have to be one image. We can make it a full narrative. And we can do a video portrait as well. So
yeah, I mean, I see myself in a teaching environment, like, I can envision it.
Sorry, let me just direct you again. It's not so much I see myself, it's like, see me doing this.
Okay. I see myself teaching in a classroom.
Okay.
That's definitely there. Teaching in a classroom, because that's my role. And I see myself interacting with students.
Okay.
And
what's going on in this interaction?
And in this interaction, like teaching is going on, of course.
Okay.
But at the same time, I am having a healthy conversation with the students. So they can ask me stuff about not only the class, but they can ask me stuff about other things on how grad life is like, and maybe how we can change the way the quizzes are run, stuff like that. So
okay.
I definitely see myself teaching in a classroom, talking to students, and having a healthy discussion.
Okay, so there's some discussion happening between the students. Okay, you and the students. Okay.
Yeah, and then getting feedback. Yeah, that's something I'm just thinking, like, what else can I envision myself as, like,
Do you want me to pull up some examples? Was that helpful?
yeah.
Oh, okay. There's one thing.
Oh yeah. imagine this thing in a classroom setting where,
So not this.
yeah,
Okay.
I am in a classroom setting
Okay.
in which I am standing in front of students and I see myself,
I'm listening. I'm just moving this.
okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so imagine like I am standing in front of students
Okay.
and then the picture is facing me, not the students. You know, I am trying to tell them something. This is like the picture I see.
Okay.
So,
You don't worry. It's a process.
yeah.
You don't have to unearth it, but this is
Yeah.
good. This is good.
Yeah, so the thing I see is I standing in front of a classroom, the picture is facing me, all like this.
I'm seeing you.
Yeah, and then the
Camera's
students
here.
are even facing me, so all only the backside
Next
is.
to their head.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wide shot. You can see everything. It's super close. How do you see it?
I would say a wide shot, yeah.
Okay, so
With the board behind me.
which classroom?
Anyone would do, like engineering too.
I don't know. Oh, is that a very large class or is
Not-
it a small class or
It's
medium
a,
size?
it's a medium-sized classroom.
It's
Like,
like 150 students.
oh, not even that. Like I would say, 30.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like a seminar room.
seminar room. You could say that.
Okay. And is it square? Is it auditorium like? Is it semicircle? What's
Yeah,
it?
it's a rectangle. Like
Okay.
at least in the vision that I see.
Got it.
And then there's that board behind me,
Okay.
and then I'm standing there, and I'm trying to show that I have a smile on my face,
Okay.
and I'm happy explaining them a concept.
Okay. And you're talking about computer science.
Yeah.
What's the concept you're talking about? What's that?
Some discrete math stuff, like imagine math. We could put math there. Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
Sublet.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, if you want to call that math. Yeah, some math stuff or